Hey guys, it's Kevin again, and in this video I'm going to review Mom season 1, episode 2. What do we call it? It has a very strange title. I think it's called a pea stick and a Asian something. What's it called? A pea stick and an Asian raccoon. Now this episode, I really liked this episode. The thing I liked about it was that yes, it had its funny parts. But really, this episode was just very sweet. It really showed the sweet side that this show could have. And I'm really enjoying the show because it's showing that, yes, people make bad decisions. But it's really about the family you have, and it doesn't necessarily need to come out bad for you. And I really like that. So basically, the episode starts off right where the last one picked up. If I did not tell you guys, because I did not see the ending of the last episode, that, Christy's daughter, Violet, could be pregnant. We basically find out in the beginning of the episode that, yes, she is pregnant. She is actually pregnant, and, she actually wants to be a mother. She wants to try to do it, and I think that's a good thing that she didn't just put the baby up for adoption. You know, I know people do that, and I know they have their reasons why, but I mean, that is your child, and it's your responsibility to care for them. And I'm happy that she's going to take a chance and do that because, I mean, she wants to follow her mother's footsteps. It worked for her, and she doesn't want to follow her completely, but she wants to try to do what her mother could not do for her. So she basically tells her boyfriend, what's her boyfriend's name? And her boyfriend, of course, is clueless. He's kind of just like, yeah, whatever. And he's kind of like, oh, so you had a baby? He goes to Christy, her mother, and says, you had a baby? And then she said, no, she is. He's like, both of you did? It was a really funny scene. But you do see that he actually does care. Even though her boyfriend's super dumb, he does really care. He wants to make this work. You can tell he does. And that's one of the things I like, is that even though he's really dumb, like, dumb as a brick, very dumb, he really does care, and he really does want to help her. So I'm glad they showed that, because I really hope it does work out for them. So then we basically see that, Christy's also trying to still deal with her mother. Her mother is they're still in the Alcoholics Anonymous class. She's still trying to deal with her mother not making a fool out of her. And she kind of starts to say how, at first she starts to really apologize for what she did and everything, but then she starts to starts to tell really personal stories about her as a child and, like, things she used to do to her and things that happened to her. And she feels uncomfortable, very uncomfortable, and her mother kind of realizes she made her uncomfortable. So, Bonnie realizes she made Christy very uncomfortable. So she tells Christy basically that she's sorry she made her so uncomfortable, and things work out for them. So this was the best scene. This was probably the best scene of the episode, in my opinion. It was just such a sweet scene. The scene where Christy comes home, she hears Violet, and I believe Roscoe. I think that's the son, Roscoe. I'm not entirely sure. Yeah, Roscoe's the son. Yeah, so we see Violet and Roscoe, and Violet is putting Roscoe to bed, and she kind of starts talking to him in, like, if she was his own mother, and she kind of says how he's going to be an uncle and everything. It was just a really cute scene, and Violet kind of starts, Christy starts to realize that that Violet is actually a better mother than she is. And, basically, the ending of the episode was they all realized that in order for them to make this work, the three of them have to do this together. It's not going to work if it's one person. The three of them have to do this together. They have to make some kind of effort to do this, and I really like that message. So yeah, like I said, that's basically what happened. But then let's get to the last scene of exactly what happened. We go to, they go over to where, you know, they go over to her Violet's ultrasound, and we see the baby and everything, and she kind of says how she needs her mother, her there for her, and then, you know, Christy turns to her mother, and her mother says, I'm right here, and I'm not leaving, and I think that was a very sweet scene, probably the sweetest scene we see, and I just really liked the message in the episode, and that's basically how it ended. I don't know if there was something after it, probably something silly after it, but that's basically how it ended. And I was very impressed by this episode. It was definitely funny, but it was also, you know, really touched upon the fact of these people really wanting to work together, and it kind of turned the subject on. If something like this happens, it doesn't necessarily need to be a bad thing, and I like that they really touched upon that, because most times in these shows, they really portray it as a bad thing. They portray it as a horrible thing. And for Christy, that happened to her. But she doesn't want she obviously does not want the same thing to happen to Violet, and Violet's not going to let it happen to her. We saw that Violet is actually a responsible, you know, a responsible teenager in this episode, and I really like that, because the last episode we kind of saw her just doing drugs and stuff, and I wasn't happy seeing that. I was very happy we saw a much more mature side of her in this episode. We saw that she can actually be a very good mother. That scene where she put her brother to bed was adorable. Probably the best scene we've gotten out of this show. It's only 2 episodes, and I already love this show. It's just such a great show. It's such a great episode. It's just a really heartfelt episode. It really tugged at the heartstrings, because, again, it's a very serious subject. This is not something to joke about. There were some really funny scenes, of course, with Alice and Janney. And if you're wondering why it's called a pea stick and an Asian raccoon, is because Bonnie basically said that the gynecologist there that Violet was with, his hands are like an Asian raccoon. I thought that was hilarious when she said that, so that's why it's called pea stick and an Asian raccoon. But overall, yeah, really great episode of Mom. I really enjoyed it. Let me know what you guys saw of the episode. What do you think of the heartfelt part of the episode? Do you like that this show really, even though it's a comedy, it has a lot more heartfelt moments? Do you think Violet could be a really good mother? I think Violet is going to be a really great mother. Do you think this is going to work out for them? Do you think that her boyfriend really does care? I think he does. He just doesn't really show it. Her boyfriend's name, by the way, is Gabriel, I think. No, that's the wrong one. Baxter, that's it. Yeah, Baxter's the one that really, really does care. That's it for this review. I hope you enjoyed it, and I'll see you guys next video. Okay, bye.